Hey guys, it's the Podfather Philip Antoine here. Before you listen to the show, please go to ProWrestlingTees.com, ProWrestlingTees/Bulletcast, and pick up a shirt. We need to sell 24 more so we can get a new design up there. It's a really nice design. It's our current logo. It's our current design. And please help your boys out so Brandon and I can get a little bit of money so we can get some more equipment so we can advance the technology on this show. We're struggling college students. We don't really have that much moolah to make these things happen, and eventually we want to take this on the road. So help us help you. Go to ProWrestlingTees/Bulletcast and pick up a shirt today. Now, let's listen to the BC. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I'm a 23-year-old piece of gold, the messiah of the microphone, the greatest sports recreational podcast from the world today, the Podfather. And it's simple, I'm here to lead the evolution in this audio revolution, and I am once again your current reigning, defending Bulletcast champion, just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. This title reign is hashtag forever undisputed. For life. Brother, when you hail from the 6th, when you hail from Toronto, Ontario, you become a 7-time Bulletcast champion, or you can get like my co-host who's on the line. You get a little lucky, and you rack up seven rings, 7 titles. He's the man who hates you if you're from Toronto, Vancouver, or Saskatchewan. He's my tag team partner. He's been down with me since day one-ish. The Jimmy to my J, the Telly to my Arn, the Christian to my Edge. He is the host of the award-winning Curveballs and Chair Shots, host of the award-winning Under the Radar, the first ever BC champ, BT Brandon Tanguma. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. It stings a little bit that I'm not champion anymore. It feels as though every single prediction that we differentiated on, you got right. Except for the CM Punk one, which is the one I wish I didn't get right, but unfortunately I did get that one right. He didn't show up, but we'll talk a little more AEW as the show goes on.
Hey, I'm champ again. Corbin soon to be king. It's nice right now. I'm sitting pretty comfortable in my estate in Hayward, California.
I don't know if I'd say nice, but you know,
it feels a little nice. But ladies and gentlemen, episode 136, we're really making our way, man.
Making our way downtown.
Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. No. You're not gonna finish the lyrics.
Apparently, I don't know it as well as you do.
Wow, you've never seen White Chicks?
Yeah, I've seen White Chicks, but it's, you know, I have other songs and other things in my memory bank over that song.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know, like the illustrious song "Boats and Hoes" from Step Brothers.
Boats and yeah, no, that's okay, man.
And gardening tools.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about the PWI 500. So these are apparently the top wrestlers in the world. Number 1, Seth Rollins. Number 2, Daniel Bryan. 3, the phenomenal AJ Styles. 4, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. 5, IWGP Champion Kazuchika Okada. 6, Johnny Gargano. 7, the Big Dog Roman Reigns. 8, the Cleaner Kenny Omega. 9, Hiroshi Tanahashi. And 10, the current IWGP Junior Champ Will Ospreay. Brandon, how do you feel about this newest list from Pro Wrestling Illustrated?
Well, I wish maybe a little bit more outside WWE people were represented. I mean, Kazuchika Okada, Tanahashi, Will Ospreay, definitely 3 of the top wrestlers in the world, definitely deserving to be in the top 10. You know, maybe Tanahashi, I guess, did win the title at Wrestle Kingdom, so it's more of a kayfabe list, I guess, so it's kind of hard for me to have too much of a dispute with it. I mean, obviously, Seth Rollins has kind of been the top guy in WWE for the past year, especially since Roman Reigns stepped away for a good amount. I would maybe have since Roman Reigns did step away for such a long period of time, maybe him being at, 7? I think that one is a little bit of a head-scratcher for why he's so high up on the list, but I'm not going to get too angry about it. It's a kayfabe list of sense. Maybe Kenny, you know, he has been wrestling a whole lot this year as well. Maybe as much as I love him, maybe I'd bump him out of the top 10 as well. But shout out to my boy Matt Riddle, the illustrious number 69.
That fits him perfectly. You know, if this was, I'm surprised he's not 420.
Well, he's a little better. I think 69 is a better spot for him than 420. I mean, he's definitely in the top 100, I would say.
Is RVD 420?
Maybe. I mean, I think he's still out there wrestling on the indie scene. And he's on Impact now. I think he deservedly could go in the 420 spot.
There you go. Shout out to was the Black Wrestling Alliance on Instagram. They did a Black Wrestling top 250. And shout out to our boys Will Hobbs and then the world's freshest tag team, Alpha Zoe and DJ Fresh. They've been on the show. They made the list, so shout out to the boys.
Shout out to the boys.
Shout out to the boys. All right, some sad news. Smiley Kylie Rae has been released from her contract with All Elite Wrestling. Tony Khan confirmed it during the press scrub interviews after All Out this past Saturday. That she's no longer with the company. She asked for her release. Rumor has it that she's dealing with some depression and some other personal issues. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Smiley Kylie no longer being with AEW?
It's obviously some sad news, both personally for her as well as the company, because I think Kylie could have been, maybe the top women's wrestler for them. I mean, I didn't really see a whole bunch of her before then. I kind of looked a little bit into her when she got signed. I mean, she was in the inaugural women's match for AEW at Double or Nothing. So obviously the company had some plans with her to push her as some sort of a top act. I mean, I think her and Britt Baker were kind of those two top women's baby faces they were looking at. Obviously, something might be going on with her. I don't want to speculate too much. Hopefully, everything works out. Maybe it's something to where she just isn't in the right frame of mind. She doesn't want to wrestle right now, but maybe further on down the line, she could reemerge and be with the company. Because I think she definitely has a lot of upside. I mean, we're going to talk about Bayley a little bit later, a lot of comparisons to her and Bayley. So I think she could have been what Bayley could have been in WWE, but, Bayley, maybe one of the most botched characters in WWE history, I would say.
Well, Bayley has a little bit of rejuvenation that we're going to get into later today. But yeah, man, Kylie Rae, I saw her interacting with fans at StarCast when we were there this past May. She seemed like a really nice, genuine person, and I enjoyed her character, the underdog story. I was hoping that her and Nyla Rose would battle for the All Elite Wrestling Women's title, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But yeah, I wish her the best of luck in all her future endeavors and whatever she's going through. I hope she's okay. And maybe one day she and All Elite Wrestling can join forces once again.
Yes, hopefully everything in her life goes well.
All right, we're going to talk about WCCW, and I'm not talking about World Class Championship Wrestling. No, we're talking about World Class Caribbean Wrestling. This is a new promotion that is going to be in Jamaica. It's for Caribbean and Jamaican talent. It's new. It started up. They haven't officially had any shows or anything, but they're signing a couple people. Anthony Kentish, I know he's been signed. You have Mantis. Excuse me. You also have Jeremy the Cowboy Young. Hayden Kentish as well. So, and then, of course, Black Wrestling Alliance. The man behind that is Adazel. I think that's how you say his name. So he's been signed as a commentator. So, yeah, this is a new promotion. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. And, yeah, man, what are your thoughts? I know you probably haven't heard of it, but what are your thoughts on a new promotion like this, predominantly going to be in the Caribbean and in Jamaica starting up?
You are correct. I haven't heard anything about this. Just another promotion to keep an eye on. So much wrestling around the world, around the United States, and the Caribbean. Puerto Rico was definitely a hotbed for wrestling back in the 80s and 70s and even earlier than that. So it is nice to see maybe a rejuvenation, a renaissance, you might say, over in the Caribbean. And, shout out to the Bahamas. Anybody listening, anybody staying there, hopefully everybody's safe. All the hurricane stuff going on down there, some scary stuff.
Yeah, hopefully everybody is safe. I've been to the Bahamas at one point in time in my life. It was good stuff.
I might have flown over. I don't think I've flown over the Bahamas, but seems like a nice place.
I took a nice little cruise when I was about 5 or 6. It was decent.
Didn't the Jericho cruise make a pit stop there or whatnot?
I believe so. We going on the next one?
I don't know, but we might be going to another Chris Jericho thing. I heard through the grapevine.
Oh, yes. So we're going to get into that next week. All right, but we're going to talk about WWE trying to trademark Adam Cole. So, WWE apparently thought that Adam Cole did not use this ring name while he was wrestling in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and Ring of Honor and everywhere outside of WWE, but they found out that he was, and of course, trademark your stuff before WWE does. His trademark is either for 5 or 10 years, so I'm not sure when, but once it's close to being expired, he better immediately file for the trademark again, so WWE doesn't try to swoop that up.
I find it hard to believe that WWE didn't know that his name was Adam Cole in the indie scene because he was probably one of the hottest free agents or hottest wrestlers on the independent scene. But good for Adam Cole. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, he's tied very closely with the All Elite guys. I think he can be one of the top guys in WWE, in All Elite Wrestling. Anybody in the world of pro wrestling would definitely want to get Adam Cole. So good for him for signing that trademark early and having everything locked up. Yeah, I mean, hopefully other guys see that in the future, but then WWE can just say, we're just going to change your name. But I do like how they're keeping a lot of the top indie guys' names on the NXT roster.
That's very true. Trademarking is very interesting. I don't know if you've heard Brandy Rhodes on the Jericho podcast. It was recorded during, what was that, Fight for the Fallen? Yeah, so Brandy Rhodes, she gets to use that name because she didn't use it in WWE, and then Cody Rhodes, even though Rhodes is his legal last name, it is officially trademarked by WWE, so he can't use Cody Rhodes. I find that very interesting.
And they do a little workaround to where when they introduce them, they always do it Cody with Brandy Rhodes. So it's like they're both Rhodeses, but technically the only person who is a Rhodes is Brandy.
Yeah, so, Cody, be on the lookout for when that trademark is up, buddy.
I think he's a smart enough guy to know to keep on top of those things.
Yeah. Cody's big in the trademark game. All right, WWE is up for a People's Choice Award nomination. They're being nominated for TV Show of 2019. They're going up against Game of Thrones, The Big Bang Theory, Grey's Anatomy, and The Walking Dead. The only one of these shows besides Raw I've actually watched a couple episodes of is Grey's Anatomy. Brandon, what are your thoughts on WWE making it into the pop culture game like this, man?
I think, this is PR. I don't know who the People's Choice Award is on, if it's on like NBC, if it's on Fox. Maybe they're trying to do some sort of, brand recognition because, I mean, let's be honest, Raw, it pulls in good numbers, pulls in 2 million, 3 million people, which is really good for this day and age, but it's not the most, shall you say, best television out there. But, I mean, honestly, all these TV shows that they're competing with are maybe not the best television out there, but it's the biggest names out there.
Absolutely. It's good for them, they have big names like Roman and Becky now that she's transcending over to the pop culture. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they win, but I hope they do. All right, next up, Scarlett Bordeaux was reportedly at the WWE Performance Center today doing a tryout. Could you see Scarlett Bordeaux, the Smoke Show, in WWE?
Well, I've sang the praises of the Smoke Show many, many times on this podcast. I predicted that she was going to come out for the Casino Battle Royal last week. Just another prediction that I got wrong, but it is what it is. Mercedes Martinez was the Joker. She got a nice response. I'm happy. Hopefully she stays with AEW, but we've kind of talked about this in the past. The Smoke Show, a very sexual character, but she's not just, for sex appeal. She can wrestle a bit. I think people underestimate how good of a wrestler she actually is. It will be interesting to see if she does go into WWE. Will she just be, a watered-down version of the Smoke Show? Will she even be the Smoke Show? Will she just be a wrestler who just, maybe she's a little sexy, but, not much any different than any of the other wrestlers? But she could be a good valet. She could be like in the Zelina Vega role, or maybe she's with Killer Cross. Who knows what happens with the Smoke Show?
Who knows what happens with the Smoke Show? I'm watching some jobber flick me off as I'm doing this illustrious award-winning podcast. Because I'm the greatest sports recreational podcaster in the world today. But the Smoke Show, she is a very she's a sex pot, as we like to say on the show. How was she with you at StarCast?
She was okay. I just kind of showed up, said photo and whatever, and crossed her name off. Didn't really talk a whole bunch. Just kind of got in, got out, and that was that.
Wow. Well, okay. You know.
Nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, I mean, she was a little friendly with me. I told her about her. I said I liked her Disco Inferno match. She's like, "Oh, thank you so much. It was really fun." That was about it. You know, Killer Cross was standing there, so I was kind of like, let me just get the picture and get out. You know?
You didn't want to shoot your shot with Killer Cross right there?
No, 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 no. Of course not. Of course not.
Oh, okay. You wanted to come back to StarCast.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're gonna talk some new up and coming Starcast, but first we gotta talk about All Out. It happened Sears Center last Saturday. I did my recap. I actually did the watch along to Cody versus Shawn Spears. But Brandon, we haven't heard your opinions about All Out. Tell us, man. Run the gauntlet with it.
Well, I thought All Out was a good show. I didn't watch it live as it was happening. I watched it a little bit on delay. I watched it that night, so I kind of felt like I was living on the East Coast starting a pay-per-view at 8 o'clock at night. It's something I'm never used to doing. But I thought all in all, it was a good show. I kind of, honestly, after watching the show, I was a little disappointed just because I think, people comparing this Double or Nothing to All In, I didn't have like the same feeling of like, oh my God, this was amazing. This was like life changing. This was like one of the best shows of all time. But I thought, not now looking back on it, that I kind of had a couple days to reminisce. I mean, every single match I said was good. Maybe, the Dark Order, we've kind of been saying they're not getting over with the crowd as much, but I think with the weekly television show coming up, they desperately need it to try to get their characters over. I mean, every single match was good. I didn't think anything was bad. I thought the women's Battle Royal match, that was a little clunky and just it's almost kind of similar to the men's where it's like, okay, why does someone who just wins a Battle Royal gets a championship opportunity? But Pac and Kenny, a little surprising that it went on so early. I thought it was a really good match. Pac winning with a submission kind of establishes that submissions can happen, finishes can happen out of nowhere. Obviously, it seems as though they're doing the Kenny Omega. They're tearing him down before building him up. I'm not a big fan of it. I kind of wish they just pushed Kenny Omega and just like, look, this is the best guy we have on our roster, best wrestler in the world. Here he is, our champion, our top guy. But it looks as though they're going to tell a story of him. I don't think he's going to go in the Okada realm where he's just going to completely just go crazy and carry balloons and dye his hair red and all that stuff. But I think it could be a good story going forward. They have the Jon Moxley match booked again in November, so obviously I think that's going to be a storyline going forward. The Cracker Barrel Clash was a Cracker Barrel Clash. It was just all over the place, a lot of mayhem. I think the best match of the show was the ladder match, even though I thought the Cody Rhodes and Shawn Spears match was very well done as well. I mean, Cody seems as though all of his matches in these big shows are the most invested matches in the crowd in terms of storyline and all that stuff. The Jericho Hangman Page match, as much as I kind of thought, even though I picked Hangman to win, I kind of knew that Jericho was going to win. And I thought it was a good match, kind of similar to the Jericho and Kenny Omega match from Double or Nothing in a bubble. It was a good match, but I think the crowd was kind of burnt out by having, 4 or 5 hours of wrestling going on up until that point. And Hangman Page, they're going to maybe tell the same story of him and Kenny. Maybe he's going to get torn down to get built back up. I think the person to take down Jericho, I think it's going to be either Kenny or Hangman, but I think I would still go with Kenny just because Kenny did lose to Jericho that first time, and they can tell a cohesive story, maybe build that up to Double or Nothing or whatever it's going to be called if they go back to Vegas on Memorial Day weekend. So, I mean, all in all, I thought All Out was a pretty good show. I mean, I give it a thumbs up. There was some worrying things about AEW, some great things as well, but all in all, I mean, we don't really know what exactly is going to happen. We can speculate, but until they get that weekly television show, I think you can't put too much stock on what's going on with AEW because of this show.
Oh my God, the kid made a run in again. And, All Out, man. I gave it a B, just not a plus, not a minus. It was fine. Cody always does have the most emotionally invested matches. Why? His dad was a great storyteller. He told an amazing story with his brother at Double or Nothing. Was this show as good as Double or Nothing? No, it wasn't. I mean, probably because we were there. But it's all very interesting, man. And there's been some controversy going around the women's casino battle royal because Nyla Rose won the Battle Royal, and because she's a transgender woman that people have said, why is everybody getting so happy that a man won this? And I'm like, let's calm down with that. Nyla Rose, I'm excited for what she's going to do with inside the company and potentially becoming the first All Elite Wrestling Women's Champion. And then, of course, the main event for the championship, you have Chris Jericho defeating Hangman Page, and Jericho just solidifies his dominance. I'm going to read off Jericho's title trajectory here. A four-time WCW Cruiserweight Champion, one-time WCW Television Champion, ECW World TV Champion once. He was the Undisputed Champion once. He's a three-time WWE World Champion, a Hardcore European Champion once, the U.S. title once, IC title 9 times, WWE title twice, Triple Crown, Grand Slam, New Japan IC title, now the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. It's a lot of gold, man. It's a lot of gold.
I mean, when you've been wrestling for, I don't know, it feels like 30 years up until this point, you're going to accumulate a lot of accolades and a lot of titles.
It's true, and hopefully he doesn't, if he ever wins another title, hopefully he doesn't lose it at a steakhouse.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that, but they found it. So
They found it, yes. The All Elite Wrestling World title has been found, ladies and gentlemen. Man, what a work? Is it a work, dude? Is it a work?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of was thinking it was a little weird that I don't know.
I mean, this isn't the first time a wrestler's lost a championship. Dolph Ziggler a couple years ago lost the Intercontinental title in an airport.
When it comes to work or shoot, you know me, I'm always going to lean towards it being a work until proven otherwise. I mean, maybe the Jericho doing his little promo in the hot tub was just doing something because it happened. We still don't even know who stole it or what exactly happened to it, so hopefully by the time we record next week, we'll know all the details, but maybe we'll never know all the details.
Maybe we'll never know. I could read the police report. It was that was interesting. So here we go. The victim reported the theft of his championship wrestling belt while he was eating inside Longhorn Steakhouse. The victim stated he arrived at the Millionaire Club airport terminal and placed the belt inside his rented limousine. The limo driver shuttled to the victim to Longhorn for dinner. The victim remained at Longhorn while the limo driver returned to the airport. The victim had taken the wrong luggage from the airport and the driver took it back to the terminal. When the driver picked up the victim from the restaurant, the belt was missing. Responding officers searched the limo and airport and the belt without success. On-call CID was consulted and forensics responded to the scene. Victim Christopher Jericho Irvine.
I don't understand how the limo goes from the airport to the steakhouse, then back to the airport, and in just that short span of time, it gets stolen. Like, did the driver not lock it? Did somebody know? How did anybody even know that was Jericho's, or did they just see the limo and they just jumped in? And I don't know. There's a lot of questions for how and why this would have happened.
Yes, let's. Everybody seemed pretty calm about the title going missing. I know WWE, they have a title for television and then a title for on the road, but I think AEW just has that one.
My sources have told me that there is a backup title, so if it did go missing forever, they had something for the television debut.
Oh, so they do have a backup championship.
I mean, you always gotta have a backup. You never know what's gonna happen.
I mean, we don't have a backup for the Bulletcast title.
Well, I mean, we still got the OG title.
Buddy, I mean, the one I had made is very nice. You cannot lie.
I can. I mean, it is quite nice. I mean, technically, the one I have is not the OG title. Technically, the OG title is a old Pride foam title with some metal circles bolted into it.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to get rid of that. I had to get rid of that. Couldn't do it. But yeah, man. So we're gonna keep the All Elite Wrestling news going because Full Gear is their next big pay-per-view, November 9th. It's gonna be in Baltimore, Maryland. Starcast 4 is happening. 3 Starcast in 1 year, man.
My boys over there on PW Torch, they did a little talk with Conrad Thompson, and he said that StarCast 3 was going to be the last one. And of course, in wrestling, never say never. Now we're going to get a 4th one.
Exactly. Brandon, we going? We missed the 3rd one.
We did miss the 3rd one. I mean, we could just save our money and just bank on them coming back to Vegas.
That's true. That's
You know,
true.
we can go to the millionaire terminal like Chris Jericho.
I don't know, man. I mean, we'll have that discussion as the weeks and months come along. But just start saving up your money just in case, man.
I know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming up. You know, the A's. Hopefully, they make it to the playoffs. So I'm gonna be throwing a lot of money that way. Maybe AEW comes to the Bay Area by the next time Double or Nothing happens. There's probably gonna be a lot of events coming up these next few months.
There are. We're gonna be very excited for it. All right, New Japan Pro Wrestling's King of Pro Wrestling is October 14th, 2019, and Jon Moxley is defending the IWGP United States Championship against Juice Robinson in a is it a no holds barred, no disqualification match?
I'm not sure about this, but it's very similar to their match in Jon Moxley's debut, where they just went all over the place and he beat up poor Juice. But I mean, with AEW getting the full time weekly television show, I think a lot of people rightly are going to speculate this is where Moxley drops the title. He's done with New Japan after this. It was just a nice little summer run for him, or maybe they shock the world and he retains and he just keeps running with it. I mean, October 14th, that's going to be at the very beginning of their TNT's run with AEW, so maybe he misses that, I don't know, whatever that is, the 16th or 17th, 18th, I don't know, show. But, yeah, should be a fun match.
It should be a fun match. Yeah, man, we're a little under a month away. Actually, we're exactly 1 month away from SmackDown going to Fox.
I mean, we're October. It's my favorite month for sports. You get like all three or four major sports going on at one time, and now October for wrestling. I mean, wrestling in general after October is just going to get insane because there's so much stuff. The Wednesday Night Wars, Fox going, SmackDown going on Fox, and who knows what's going to happen with
Total
Raw.
Divas.
And Total Divas, can't forget about Total Divas.
Can't forget, dude.
Miz and Mrs. coming back for season 2 next year and whatever February, March.
Yes.
So much stuff to watch.
So much stuff to watch. All right, WWE introduced a new match during its NXT UK tapings, and it's called a British Rounds match. So let me read you the rules, Brandon. The British Rounds match. In this match, there are 3 rounds of 6 minutes each. You can win the match pin, submission, or KO. Cassius Ohno faced Sid Scala in the first ever British Rounds match at this WWE taping. Brandon, have you heard anything about this? If so, what do you think?
I did not know that this is a thing that's happening in WWE, but obviously British wrestling, World of Sport had a long history of doing the round system. We saw it make a quick comeback for Impact a few years ago. I think the round system could be used effectively. I mean, was it 3 6-minute rounds? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I think that's about right. I mean, 6 minutes, it's long enough to where a match could conceivably end. I think with the Impact, I think it was like a couple minutes. So by the time like the match started getting going, they just had to stop to it. But I haven't really watched a whole lot of British rounds type matches. I mean, I think I've seen 1 or 2, and they've been pretty good. But those like the high end main event level matches. But it's something different, especially over there in NXT UK. It has the history behind it, so I'm not opposed to it. But sometimes the round system, almost kind of like the last man standing matches, it kind of halts the flow of the match, which could hurt a little bit, but it could also make it better.
That's all very, very, very true. Well, let's get into this day in wrestling. King of the Ring, 1987. Who won it? The Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Uh-huh. This is when he joins up with Sherry Martel and becomes the Macho King. We also have War Games Nitro 2000. That was all very, very interesting. I honest to God can't tell you who won that, but go back and watch it. It was a hoot. What else we got? We have a Raw on this day in 2000. We have SmackDown on this day in 2001. And we have Xavier Woods. He's 33 years old today. Awesome Kong is 42.
Happy birthday, Xavier Woods. Up, up, down, down. Crossed the 2 million subscriber threshold. They unlocked the video with Triple H. Not actually Triple H playing video games, but talking video games. So that's a little fun thing to see. Awesome Kong, great and glow. It seems though she's going to be taking a backstage role as well as an on-screen role for AEW. So kind of like the female version of Dustin Rhodes, one might say.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay, sorry. Kevin Nash won War Games 2000 to retain the WCW title. The other participants in the match include Sting, Booker T, Goldberg, Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and the Harris brothers.
Is this the like Tower of Doom type War Games
Yeah.
where it was like inspired by Ready to Rumble?
Yeah. The SmackDown that happened in 2001, you have The Rock talking to Lillian Garcia about pie and strudel.
Iconic.
Yes. And
Shout
then,
out Peyton Royce and Sean Spears. Happy wedding or whatever you call it. Hopefully they're having a great time on the honeymoon.
Yeah. And then on the Raw from 2000, you have Eddie Guerrero defeat Kurt Angle and Chyna for the Intercontinental Championship in Lexington, Kentucky.
Shout out Lexington, Kentucky.
Shout out Lexington, Kentucky. All right, we're gonna hop into the fan mail portion of the show, man. We got quite a bit today, man.
The fan mail has been all over the place and full.
And full. That's how it happens here. Load. Hootie Who 420.
Hootie who?
All out solid pay-per-view. That ladder match. Goddamn. Cody versus Spears. Decent. AA hitting the spine buster. I popped like Phillip. Shout out to CJ. First ever AEW champ. Smart move by TK. Obviously talking about Tony Khan. Yeah. I think we agree with all that.
I agree with all of it. I would say the Cody Sean Spears match was more than decent. I'd say it was pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Spears with the contacts in his eyes. Ooh, a little chilly.
It was alright. I did like the presentation of his entrance though, and shout out Pharaoh, poor Pharaoh. I mean, probably the low point of the entire show.
Oh yeah, Tony Khan was not happy about that at all.
I don't know how you put the dog in that situation. I mean, Pharaoh is not a young pup. I think Cody and Brandy should know if the dog doesn't like fireworks or not.
No, but Brandy was not happy at all. This was a Cody idea.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Maybe they shouldn't have pyro for Cody.
I don't know. They did make sure that the horses were not in the stadium or the arena when the pyro went off, though.
Well, apparently they put the horses above the dog. Peter's coming for him.
Yeah. Hunter Horse Helmsley. Oh, that was great. All right, Jack of all trades. The fact that the Firefly Funhouse is still airing is a very good thing for me, not just because for the fans, as we should not lose sight of the Mr. Rogers element of Bray Wyatt and the Fiend character.
I agree. I think having these post-produced Firefly Funhouses for Bray Wyatt to get over his character, I mean, the way for him to cut his promos, I think it's probably the best way, because I don't know if you really want Pee-wee Bray or the Fiend to come out in front of the live audience and cut promos, or even in a backstage setting. So I just think keeping it in the bubble of the Firefly Funhouse and just keeping it there, and then when he wrestles, he comes out or he does something physical. So I think just kind of keeping him on his own special playing field is a good idea to keep the mystique of the Bray Wyatt character.
Absolutely, man. I enjoy the Mr. Rogers element. You know, if he says, "Won't you be my neighbor?" I might pop for that. I don't know. Just
they might be getting a cease and desist from PBS.
Won't you be my neighbor? Maybe he can just wear penny loafers. I don't know. Sweater vest and penny loafers. That'll be enough for me. All right, Alfie Lewis. Brandon's very familiar with this guy.
The one guy who emailed under the radar?
Yes. In regards to what Bayley did on Monday night, WWE, you have me. Please, for the love of God, don't mess it up.
They probably will.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Hootie Who 420.
Hootie Hoot again.
To hell with King Corbin. It better not happen. I'll be pretty pissed. But he had a hell of a match on Monday night with Cedric. boys?
I did think that Cedric and Baron Corbin had a really good match. They were still playing into it, and with Andrade losing, I think a lot of people thought Andrade was the favorite. And I think it's much more possible now that Baron Corbin could be the king of the ring.
Yes, I'm telling you guys, Corbin carried Cedric to a great match. My boy's doing it. All hail King Corbin. Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
man.
All hail King Corbin.
All hail King Corbin. Robert Walker, if you boys could be on any TV sitcom that you really enjoyed, what would it be? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Um, Brandon, you want to take this one first?
I'm not really a sitcom type person. I don't know if New Girl counts as a sitcom, but I really like New Girl. That's a great show.
You want to be on New Girl?
Sure, I'll be on New Girl. I'll be, like the new roommate or something. I'll fill in for Coach. Not WWE Coach. New
Ah,
Girl Coach.
shout out, Coach. I don't know.
I mean, really, the only sitcom I really watched was like Full House. To be honest.
You wanna fill in for Uncle Jesse?
Sure, why not? I mean, maybe I can be on the Netflix one and I can be like Stephanie's baby daddy, even though she already has one. But they
Plot
can be
twist.
like, be like the mom from Fresh Prince. Just a full-on switch. No one even acknowledges it.
Wow. I want to have a discussion about that one day on this show. I think that'd be interesting. For me, I mean, like I enjoyed Keenan and Kel when I was a kid. That's my favorite TV show ever. It's still hilarious till this day. I think I'd want to be on like All That, like not the new one, but the '90s All That, because they had such a great cast of characters, and that was kids SNL, and they're legends, man. Keenan and Kel and Jason Server and all those people, and being on Good Burger and Repairman, Man, and Super Dude and stuff like that. That was a really great time for Nickelodeon TV. And by the way, Nickelodeon way better than Disney. I'm putting it out there in the universe.
I don't want to be that guy, but I don't think All That is considered a sitcom. It's a sketch comedy show.
Situational sketch comedy, sure.
I don't know. I guess I did watch Fresh Prince, so I guess that's a sitcom as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd have to go All That or Keenan and Kel, something like that.
I think I will accept Kenny the Kel as a sitcom.
It was a sitcom, yeah.
But All That, I mean,
He said
let us know in the emails or on the Twitter if you think All That is considered a sitcom, because I would say no.
he said sitcom or TV show. So
Okay, I'll give him that.
yes. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Open back up the old email machine. Who do you who do you 420?
Who again? Triple.
Bruh, they bill got stolen. Ha 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 ha. Vince probably got it and put it in his office. 5, 6, 7 crying face emojis. Or Hunter is smashing it with the sledgehammer right now.
I did like the kayfabe news article that read WWE is introducing the American East-West Championship. I did pop for that.
That was funny. There's a photo of Crime Time holding the title, saying, "Hey, Young Bucks, we got your attention now." I did pop for that. A jack of all trades. Guys, the IC title had its 40th B-Day a couple days ago. Who's your favorite IC champ of all time, and what's your favorite Intercontinental title match? Mine, my favorite IC champ is Jeff Jarrett, and my favorite title match is Shawn vs. Razor, WrestleMania 10. Hadn't seen anything like it before, and it still holds up till this day. Much love, Jack of all trades, a.k.a. The Jote. Wow. Yeah, they put something on the network. It was like 50 matches that define the Intercontinental title. I haven't watched it yet. I wanna skim through that a little bit to see. But Brandon, who's your favorite Intercontinental champion of all time, and what's your favorite IC title match?
I don't really know who I would say is like my favorite Intercontinental champ of all time. Maybe I'll go down like a different route. Like, wasn't RVD like an Intercontinental champ, and he was pretty good? I don't know. I'll go like an easy route. I'll say like Chris Jericho's my favorite. My favorite match, my IC title match, is when I was there in the building live for No Mercy in Sacramento. Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
Okay. One of the best IC title matches I've seen. I was there for Hell in the Cell 2014, Ziggler versus Cesaro, 2 out of 3 falls. Ziggler with the clean sweep, retaining the IC title. That's when he had a decent run with the title. Seth and Dolph have had good matches. Oh my god, I'm trying to think. Let me see where. I think Jericho is my favorite Intercontinental Champion just because of all the runs he's had with it, plus that last run he had with it when he feuded with Rey Mysterio in '09 for the title. I thought that was brilliant. And then, I mean, could you say Savage and Steamboat because the match still holds up till this day? I don't know, man. I'd
I mean,
have
I
to.
think when someone says IC title, I think that's kind of the first match you think of is that WrestleMania 3 match.
That is the first match you think of. I'm gonna have to. Oh, I mean, you could go Brett and Bulldog at Wembley. You could go that.
I think maybe I'm going to change my pick. My favorite IC champ is, Nation of Domination Rock. Him finding his character and being that heel with the IC title. I think that's a fun time with it.
Yeah, then Rock and Hunter going after it for the IC title in the ladder match at SummerSlam '98. There are a couple IC title matches that I've really grown to love over the years.
I mean, it's known as the workers title. Maybe not as much anymore because now we just have so much good wrestling. But, I mean, definitely, 20, 30 years ago, that was definitely the case. Shout out Pat Patterson, first ever IC champion.
Yes, first
Won
ever.
that grueling tournament in Brazil.
Yes, for. Oh my God! It has just been announced: Reno Scum versus the Lucha Bros. There we go.
And we already know who I'm riding with. Cero Miedo. Because
yes.
Reno Scum can zero huevos, as the Young Bucks would say.
And Brad is DX. He's our graphic designer. He's given. Oh God, one of these is a long one, but here we go. Was the AEW title being stolen? Was that really a work, or did they accidentally stumble into the best storyline of the year? I don't know, man. Jericho likes to keep us guessing, keeps us on our toes.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Jericho to. I know it might be technically illegal, but to make a worked police report.
Yeah. Probably has some guys on the payroll,
And those bubbly memes right now, I mean, they're stupid, but I enjoy
They're
them.
funny.
Maybe a little too much.
The Mambo number 5, a little bit of bubbly in my that I popped for it. It was great.
I like the Limp Bizkit one. You just posted that today.
That was great. And Jericho once again just reinventing himself. This one is kind of in depth on the Cultaholic segment. Straight to Hell. Larson from Steven Larson said that the Too Sweet should go to hell, citing that it wasn't relevant anymore. And as older wrestling fan, I witnessed the birth of the Too Sweet. Back then, it didn't even have a name. Then it fell out of flavor for years till Bullet Club brought it back, and it was in vogue again. And for me, was a nice nostalgia trip. But since the BC has lost steam in the last couple of years, so has the gesture. Now people seem to annoyed when it's thrown up. I personally don't care to throw it up. Whatever you want. I thought wrestling is for everyone. To finally end this rant, what are your thoughts on the issue? The Too Sweet. People are still going to throw it up. I mean, you see still like on Being the Elite when they meet fans and they do like the quick little montage of fans. Fans are too sweeting them and stuff, man. Like it's just it. Like when I take a picture, I'm probably throwing up the Too Sweet, man. That's just me now. Sean Stewart has been on the show, When we greet each other, we throw it up. When we say goodbye, we throw it up. That's just how it is for me personally. I know a lot of people they do still use the Too Sweet hand gesture.
I actually did watch that segment, so I do I understand where he's coming from. That the Too Sweet gesture, I think it might be a little played out because it did get so hot 3-4 years ago, and like everybody was using it. And now it's like, okay, we get it. You're a smart fan. You Too Sweet. Blah 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 blah. But I mean, I think it's still semi-relevant to this day. I mean, the Bullet Club still uses it. They do kind of the upside down Too Sweet. So I think that's kind of a new little wrinkle on it since they are kind of trying to skirt around the whole cease and assist thing. I think since the cease and assist, it's kind of it's maybe not fallen off, but it's been a lot more WWE-ized, which might, make it a little less cool because now, the Elite doesn't do it. It's only, Finn and, the WWE-approved wrestlers who can do it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You want to be a real smart fan? Like, start throwing up the 4. Like, I did that in high school. I wasn't too sweet, and me and my homeboy Demond, we were throwing up the 4 for the Horsemen. You know what I mean?
Maybe people will throw up the E,
Oh, that's a possibility.
even though I don't think that's going to catch on. I think the one sweet guy is going to get more over than throwing up the E.
I wasn't really a big fan of the one suite. All right, well, we're gonna last one from in Brightest Day X was the Escalera de la Muerte, one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. That was some crazy stuff, man. I mean, Nick taking that bump off the ladder when his legs caught on the rope and he crashed through that table. I'm like, oh my god, is he okay? I mean, Canadian destroyers off ladders through tables, package pile drivers on ladders, and then LAX making the run in after it. Brent, is that a contender for not just tag team match of the year, but just match of the year?
I think you definitely have to consider it. I don't think I would put it in my top 5 match of the year candidates right now. I think there's just been so much great stuff. I said that was my favorite match of the show. It was high flying. It was dangerous. It told a good story. I don't think it was too dangerous. I mean, obviously that Nick spot where he, split his wrist open and he hit his head on the table was probably the most dangerous thing they did. But going back to the original question, if this is the best ladder match of all time, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's all kind of so hard because even in the ROH, ladder wars, I mean, the Young Bucks have had great ladder wars matches on ROH, and it's just kind of so hard because they just keep topping themselves and just keep going higher and higher and higher. And I mean, those original TLC matches, they still hold up to this day. They were insane, but yet they're still so crazy that you could see somebody doing, that exact same match in today's era of wrestling. So I would still go with the OGs, but this match definitely ranks high on the list.
Absolutely, man. It does. It really, really does. We have 2 more that we're going to do. Where is it at? Kawam Shakir 90. One of the main areas that AEW exceeds over the WWE main roster is the fact that AEW does a pay-per-view every 3 months because it allows for characters, feuds, and storylines to properly develop and not feel convoluted and rushed like the ones on the current WWE main roster. Uh, yeah, I agree. Every once in a while, WWE does allow something to build.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of something we like about AEW, NXT. They're not confined to just pump out content so much like WWE, where you have, 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, and you can throw in 205 Live and Main Event and all the other stuff that they put out there. So, with NXT and AEW, they don't have to, throw stuff out every single week. They don't give you stuff that they shouldn't and everything. So I think AEW definitely is going to hopefully they don't do the every month or every other month. I think if they just only have 8, or well, not 8, but if they have Double or Nothing, All Out, Full Gear, maybe another Fight for the Fallen or something sprinkled in. So maybe 4 to 6. Maybe I think 4 is probably a lot better because if you have really big matches on your television shows, I think that could draw in some ratings as well.
Oh my god, Jericho just posted a promo to Twitter.
Is it about him getting his championship back?
Yes, in less than 24 hours, he has recovered the AEW World Title, Le Champion. A little bit of bubbly. All of this is great. I'm gonna have to watch that later. Brandon, why don't you? I think did Copenhagen slide in the DMs? Can you read that one?
I mean, I guess I'll pull up the thingy right now. I mean, gotta open up the Twitter, select the Bulletcast account, and I think you might have read it already, and you want me to read it because it says, "Read this in a weird voice. That Bayley is just mean, mean, mean."
Why did you read it in a weird voice?
I don't know what weird voice Mr. or Mrs. Copenhagen Smith is asking for. I mean,
that Bailey's just mean, 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 mean. I guess that's what he wanted.
I don't know what kind of voice that was. It kind of sounded like I don't even know.
I don't even know either. Yeah, Bailey's mean. We're going to talk about it. Bayley turned heel on Monday night. It was a championship showcase. The Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions going up against the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And Sasha Banks makes a run-in, and Bayley and Becky Lynch defeat Cross and Bliss via DQ, because Sasha attacks Becky, and then Bayley just smacks her with a chair after Sasha does it. Bayley is a terrible human being.
I mean, we kind of saw the heel turn coming a little bit. We've been speculating maybe even back to SummerSlam with their match against Ember Moon. I mean, it's good, I guess, because it freshens up Bayley's character. I think we can talk a little bit more about it on SmackDown, but I thought it was a good first step. I hope they don't, link up Bayley and Sasha too much to where Bayley is kind of riding Sasha's coattails. I hope Bayley kind of does her own thing on SmackDown. Going back to even something that happened earlier on that you didn't talk about, the Becky Lynch promo on Sasha Banks, I thought that was fantastic. I thought the Sasha promo last week was great. I thought the Becky promo this week was great. So I think they're definitely building up a good storyline going into the Clash next week. The match itself was fine. The heel turn, it got super over with the crowd, and I mean, I don't want to put too much stock into this because it is, kind of this era of smart fan where they're just happy to be there in the moment and see something cool with Bayley turning heel. But I don't think you ever want the crowd going bananas and cheering super loud for your top babyface getting turned on.
Yeah, I don't think you want any of that. Um, I mean, we're going to talk more Bayley when we get to SmackDown and Sasha. So, Braun and Seth, they tried to have their championship contract signing for the Universal title. Seth's like, I'm going to walk in double champ and walk out double champ. Braun said, you're going to get these hands. And then the club, the only club, the original club that matters, however the hell they say it, the OC comes out there, and it results in Rollins and Strowman defeating Gallows and Anderson in a tag match, and then all of a sudden they get jumped by five guys. It's the three of the OC, and then including Rude and Ziggler. And then so this contract signing is going to be rescheduled for next week with Stone Cold Steve Austin inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Thoughts on all of this?
I mean, I thought the contract signing was pretty straightforward stuff. Shout out AJ Styles. I thought just the moment of him doing the whole tearing it up, throwing the paper up like he's LeBron James, and then Braun Strowman flipping the table in his face, and the great bump AJ took. I mean, I thought that was hilarious and effective in all the right ways. But I mean, pretty straightforward stuff here. Still teasing a little bit of dissension with Seth and Braun, but they did the whole thing where Braun ran into Seth, but then they go back to the backstage segment where Braun says, if Stone Cold gets in his way, he's going to get these hands. They didn't really bring up the fact that Braun shoulder tackled Seth, though maybe it was just something to stir up some controversy, but then they didn't really go back to it. I don't know. I mean, you got heat on the heels with all five of them taking out just the two baby faces. So, I mean, this match isn't super hot. I don't know if it's because it's two baby faces, if it's just they haven't been telling a good story, but I mean, hopefully they do something good next week, and hopefully Stone Cold sells some tickets because MSG, I've seen the seating charts, it is not looking too hot a week out before Raw.
Yeah, maybe Steve Austin. Maybe they just do another Raw reunion.
Maybe. I mean,
You never know.
you never know.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go back to it. That'd be interesting to see Steve Austin get those hands from the boy LeBron Strowman. But Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode go on to defeat Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Thoughts on the match?
The match was okay, I think, with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode being a new tag team. I know Hawkins and Ryder are former tag team champions, but I think you need Ziggler and Roode to run past them because they don't have that much credibility. Yes, they did the whole gauntlet thing last week, but I don't think you should be protecting Hawkins and Ryder at this point. Just put over Roode and Ziggler. If they are fodder, if they are going to actually win, I think you need to at least put some sort of emphasis on them.
Absolutely. Alright, you have Lacey Evans defeat Natty. That woman's right looked pretty stiff on Monday night.
I mean, it kind of looked like she just punched her in the neck. But I did think that this was one of the better Lacey Evans matches. I'm very hard on her. And, Natalya, notably a really good wrestler. She got a good match out of Lacey Evans. I'm going to go back to it. Charlotte had probably one of the worst matches in WWE television this year against Lacey Evans. So, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
Okay, look, man. You know why Natty got a great match out of her? Because she's Canadian. Canadians can work. Yeah.
But Flair's can't.
I mean, Flair's can work. Okay, like it was probably just a bad night. Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. That was probably Charlotte's off night. That's all.
Hopefully they stick Natty and Lacey together because I think it's a good pairing to get Lacey a little bit better. But man, I don't know how far you can really drag this feud out.
Or maybe she shouldn't have been called up so damn early.
But she's tall, blonde, and pretty.
Okay.
Vince likes that.
Mandy Rose is short, blonde, and pretty. She sells more tickets.
She sells a ton of tickets.
Yeah, I went there. The King of the Ring quarterfinal, you have Corbin, the soon-to-be king, defeats Cedric Alexander. Cedric was attacked by the OC, and Corbin carried him to a great match. All hail the soon-to-be King Corbin.
I thought the whole point of the Cesaro match last week was that Cedric was going to be selling a little bit of a leg injury going into this match. No, he just ends up selling a different type of injury from getting beat down by the OC. I mean, it gives Alexander an excuse for losing, and they just keep playing up that Corbin's going to win. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but they just keep trolling the crowd, which I find entertaining. But hopefully it's all for naught and he ends up losing maybe in the finals to Chad Gable. Who knows?
Dude, Shane McMahon wins the King of the Ring.
Or we get the finals that nobody asked for with Elias taking on Baron Corbin.
Dude, Shane McMahon wins King of the Ring.
I mean, he is best in the world.
Yeah, exactly. That one-arm Michinoku driver, holy hell. Damn, that was good.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. The Viking War Raider Experience, they defeat Tyler Hastings and Brian Thomas. One of these guys is the kid of a jobber. So, following your father's footsteps, I guess.
I mean, it was okay. Pretty indie level heat that the jobbers were able to obtain. But I'm just wondering when the Viking War Raider Experience is going to actually do something and, get a push and get some sort of storyline going forward. And, the Authors of Pain made like a run-in months ago, I feel like, on SmackDown, and we haven't seen them since.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm not saying put them together in a feud, but it just kind of made me think of the Viking War Raider Experiences on Raw doing nothing and AOP's on SmackDown doing nothing.
Are they officially on the SmackDown roster?
I don't know, but I think they were backstage on a SmackDown and they ran into the Iconics or something. I don't know.
Iconic! Did you do the gimmick?
Of course.
We've got to get you back on video so we can see the gimmick again, man. We have to.
I don't think people can handle it.
I don't know, man. People might be sliding in the DMs if you hit that gimmick on camera.
The DMs are open.
The DMs are open. All right, we're going to talk about Ricochet and Samoa Joe both advancing to the King of the Ring semifinal. They had a very good match, and then it just ends in a double pin, so to speak. And John Cone, who was the father of Nicholas, and Nicholas became a WWE Tag Team Champion. Anyway, Cone says that it's going to be a triple threat next week in the semifinal. Is going to be Corbin, Ricochet, and Joe. When, honest to God, could have probably just restarted the match. But, time restraints. They have commercials. They have sponsors. I understand. So, yeah. The first time in the history of the King of the Ring tournament that a semifinal has a triple threat. Or any level of the bracket has a triple threat.
I like the match. I thought they were definitely getting somewhere. But I just did not like this finish. I mean, I know it's WWE and they like to do these convoluted finishes and they don't like to beat somebody when they don't want to, but it's just like, I don't want to compare it to the G1, but like just put somebody over, have them win a match. It's not the end of the world if you want. I mean, I don't know who's going to end up winning the triple threat, if it's going to be Ricochet or Joe or Corbin, but it's like, is it so hard to have just one match, just one person take on another person? And I mean, it was so contrived, the finish, and then once again, you open up Pandora's box of like, okay, the referee is going to instant replay to look at a call, but then when something else is going to happen next week or 2 weeks from now at Clash, why didn't the referee go to the video that time?
I have no idea. I have no idea, Brandon. I really don't know. Yeah.
Is it so hard just to put somebody over? Just have Ricochet or Samoa Joe win, because I think against Corbin, either one of those can be a babyface, even if it would be a heel with Samoa Joe. But, yeah, WWE needs stories and convoluted triple threat matches because, what's better than a one-on-one? A one-on-one-on-one.
Triple threat matches have been very good in WWE history.
I don't know the math on that. It's 3 times. I don't know.
Triple threat matches have been very good in WWE history.
Have they?
I mean, WrestleMania 20.
I know, but you're like picking the cream of the crop. There's so many triple threat matches out there.
Armageddon 2008.
I'm pretty sure there's some trash triple threats out
Armageddon 2008. That one was good. It was damn good. Then there are others.
Too many.
Many to pick from, you are right. We're going to talk about the Firefly Funhouse. Yowie, wowie! Bray Wyatt, he has the Vince McMahon devil puppet, and Vince wants to get rid of the Fiend, but then Bray feeds him money because I guess the Fiend's making money. If you're not making money, then what you talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Anything else to add about the Firefly Funhouse?
I mean, we kind of talked a little about it earlier. I thought it was good, effective, and I did like the little rambling rabbit asking for help, and then Bray just kind of throws him aside.
Yep. All right, you have Rey Mysterio cut a promo. This was not good.
I mean, it's Rey Mysterio. He never cut great promos in his life, but I thought it was a little awkward, the wording and stuff. So that's why when Rey would come out and cut those babyface promos, he'd get, the Rey Mysterio or the Jeff Hardy treatment and get cut off 45 seconds in.
Very true. If this was in Spanish, I'd probably like it better.
Because everything's better in Spanish.
Yes, even the women. Okay, Miz defeats Cesaro.
I guess Cesaro is just in the slot of a random third-hour TV match.
Even though, what a barn burner at TakeOver Cardiff, right?
We will talk a little bit more about TakeOver Cardiff later on in the show.
Yes, we will. SmackDown recap. Bayley is just a loyal friend, guys. She wasn't going to watch her friend just change her attitude and not do something about it. So she joined forces with her. Yeah.
I thought it was a good promo by Bayley. Not great, but I did think it was a good first step. I think we're at this wait and see. And with Charlotte and Bayley, with Bayley freshly turned and them going into the match of the Clash, it is kind of awkward because I think they're both going to be heels into the situation. But I think right now Bayley isn't a tweener, but I think she's a heel who thinks she's a face, which I don't know how that reaction is going to turn out going into Clash next week. But I don't know how WWE really planned this out. If they were like, okay, we're going to have Bayley turn heel, but then they completely forgot that she's facing Charlotte, who's probably the top heel in the women's division. Well, maybe second now that Sasha's back, but
Queens can't be heels. Kings can. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we go back in history. There have been some pretty heelish queens.
Queen Elizabeth right now, she's doing great. She's amazing. We love her. The Queen of England, to die for. Kings, terrible human beings.
Okay.
Yeah. A little history lesson for you. Yeah, but, I like the line where Bayley's like, I'm used to you people booing me, because, there was quite a bit of time where Bayley, she was just doing the Bayley thing, and she was getting booed.
Where this whole Canadian heat started with.
Yes. Well, that was
where it all started.
That was like episode 17, man.
Bayley was just trying to come out there, cut a promo or something, and those damn Canadians were just booing her for no reason.
We had very good reason to boo her. We did. I wasn't Canadian at the time, but, I felt where they were coming from.
But as a Bay Area resident, you gotta stick with your girl.
I don't know. The place where she trained out's kind of meh.
Shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired. Rowan is on his own. Daniel Bryan is out there cutting a promo. Roman Reigns comes to join him, and Rowan just attacks Daniel and Roman Reigns. So, Clash of Champions, we get Roman Reigns versus Rowan, and by the way, we get Becky Lynch versus Sasha for the Raw Women's title.
This continues to be maybe the worst angle in WWE history, just because, Roman...
The worst angle in WWE history?
If you put everything together...
Do you not remember Katie Vick?
Well, that was not a I guess it was kind of a main event level thing, but you have Roman, who's your top guy, who they're trying to rebuild, who they've been okay with. He looks like a kind of an idiot, or he's not very sympathetic in this role. You got Daniel Bryan, who knows what's going on if he's like a face now because he got turned on by his partner, but then he's been annoying this entire time. And then you have Rowan here, who's definitely being overpushed. He's not a top tier main event guy, and this is all going in to SmackDown going on Fox a month from now, and you have your top guy in this convoluted mess of a storyline.
Bro, why couldn't it just be Sheamus?
I mean, anybody, but Rowan. And still, they just say, oh, conclusive evidence that Rowan was the guy in the video, despite the whole point of the Rowan lookalike is to say it wasn't Rowan. And there wasn't like an HD crystal clear feed where we can see his eyes or we can see the, underground metal shirt he was wearing. No, it was just a bald guy with a red beard.
Why couldn't it be Sheamus?
It could have been Sheamus. Maybe Sheamus has grown his beard out.
Yeah, actually he has. I've seen a recent picture of him.
There you go. Maybe it's been Sheamus this whole time, even though Rowan has claimed it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Sheamus paid off Rowan to claim it. We don't know.
And then Sheamus is going to make a run-in. He has a shaved head. He has a beard. And then he's just going to be like twinsies with Rowan. Maybe Luke Harper shows up, and this is never going to happen. Because it's too interesting for WWE to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The King of the Ring semi-final, we have Elias go over Mustafa Ali. Thoughts?
I thought it was a good match. Maybe one of the best Elias matches we've seen possibly ever. I mean, these matches are kind of short, but I think they are effective in getting the crowd into it. Elias is kind of the Baron Corbin on the SmackDown side of things.
No, Baron Corbin, way better wrestler than Elias.
Well, I mean, Baron Corbin did carry Cedric Alexander to a damn good match, so.
Exactly, bro.
And Cedric Alexander's just dead weight. He's like the Lacey Evans of the men's division, right?
Whoa. Hey, now, Cedric Black Power ranking all day. Hold on now. Hold on. I'm not going there.
It's just Baron Corbin's that good.
I mean, if we're talking about men's division's Lacey Evans equivalents, then we got to talk Kenny Omega.
Well, he's not on the WWE roster.
But he's Lacey Evans equivalent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I went there. Shots fired.
Apparently, you're gonna exile Winnipeg from Canada.
No. We keep Chris. We don't need Kenny.
Okay. So just Kenny's home. That's exiled from Canada.
No, just Kenny Omega. Like we don't need him.
His family's cool and everything. His cats or whatever. But Kenny, he's got to go.
I don't have anything against his family. I've never met his family. Yeah, we just don't need Kenny Omega.
Okay, fine. America will claim Kenny Omega. It's fine. Or Japan.
Yeah, Japan can have Kenny Omega.
Okay. Yeah. Seems like a fair trade.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're going to talk about Fire and Desire, Sonya Deville and Mandy defeating Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I was so very happy. By the way, Mandy Rose, that bicycle knee, so much better than that quack Kenny Omega.
Best V-trigger in WWE.
It's not a V-trigger, it's a bicycle knee.
Okay, whatever you say, don't gotta get hot about it. But, I mean, it is what it is. Nobody got hurt. And now we get the women's tag team champions losing. So now it looks as though we know who they're going to challenge at or who they're going to face at the Clash of Champions.
Shut up, Mandy.
The very underrated Sonya Deville.
Demandy's Donut's great. Just amazing.
Got a 9 from Norfolk, Virginia. So very good episode. Very good donuts if you're in the Norfolk area.
Oh, okay. When they come to the Bay Area, they need to try our donuts.
I don't know. I'm a donut connoisseur. I'm not a donut connoisseur. I'm just a donut lover. So I don't know all the different spots around here.
Yeah, I'd have to find out as well. We also have Randy Orton cutting a promo, and then Kofi gets assaulted with an RKO.
straightforward stuff. The heels beating down the babyface. They kind of picked off Xavier. They picked off Big E. So now they're focusing solely on Kofi. I mean, the stupid stuff, it's kind of a one-note gimmick. It's kind of annoying. I don't really like it. So I wish they kind of cut back on that. If they, took out the whole stupid gimmick, I think it would have been a fine promo and segment. But that was the only part I didn't like about it.
Stupid, 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 stupid. Yeah?
No.
No?
No.
No. Okay. Well, we have the King of the Ring semi-final. We have Chad Gable defeating Andrade Cien Almas. Yeah?
I thought this was very good. Maybe, possibly, best match of the tournament so far. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but I thought it was really good. I mean, they did some good mic work with Zelina early on. Gable got the crowd behind him. Upset victory. I think a lot of people thought Andrade was going to win here, but he didn't. And I don't know if this was an eye-opener. Maybe it's like, okay, maybe Gable could win the whole thing. Maybe he wasn't scheduled to. Maybe they're going to call an audible. I don't know, but I think Gable, super underrated, definitely underpushed. And I think this just kind of proves that he can connect with the crowd. And we haven't even really seen him, his funny side or his, serious promo side that he can do. I mean, we've seen it with American Alpha, the funny side, but I think he can be. I know it's easy to compare him to Kurt Angle, but I definitely think he has all different aspects of that character that Kurt Angle had.
That's all very true. That is all very, very, very true. So we have Aleister Black defeating what the hell's his name? Shelton Benjamin?
He did face Shelton Benjamin.
Yes, and he beat him.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. I mean, but Gable and Andrade, let me go back to that real quick. He gives me Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle vibes.
I mean, we did get like the three amigos spot into the three German spots, so.
Yeah. Gave me vibes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like Chris Benoit or something.
No, I wasn't gonna go there.
Okay.
Shout
Appreciate it.
Shout out David Benoit. He met Tony Khan over the All Out weekend.
Maybe we're gonna see a signing.
Oh, you never know.
You never know.
All right, Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Andrew Howard. Related to Dwight?
I don't think he's related to Dwight Howard, but Sami Zayn continuing to do the Leo Rush gimmick. Very annoying. Hopefully, it's not a full-time thing where he does it through all the Shinsuke matches. But it was quick. It was easy. And luckily, it wasn't too long, or else I really would have got annoyed with Sami Zayn.
That's the whole point.
But sometimes, you don't want to. You're gonna toe the line between annoying and, channel changing.
True. All right, the 24/7 title change hands. Bo Dallas defeats Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick defeats Bo Dallas, and then R-Truth defeats Drake Maverick. Yeah, sound right?
It does sound right, and a great shot from Corey Graves to AEW about saying that Drake Maverick was going to celebrate his victory at taking a limo to a steakhouse.
Yes.
Line of the night.
All right, Superstar Spotlight has to go to Bayley. She's reinvigorated her character. Let's hope WWE doesn't mess it up.
I will go with Chris Jericho. Maybe a little bit down. Didn't pick him to win, but I think he's definitely proven with the backstage stuff, the everything that's gone on since the AEW All Out show, that he's definitely a good pick to be the top heel champion in AEW.
Absolutely. I feel it, man. I feel it in my bones.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Chris Jericho, Philip, what is our promo pick of the week?
Well, our promo pick of the week is Chris Jericho and his backstage promo after he wins the All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. I'll just play a little bit.
None of you guys, idiots. All right. I guess I'll just have to have my own celebration, won't I? Since nobody else seems to be here. That's fine. I'm an only child. I got no problem celebrating by myself. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Cheap salami. That's what Chris Jericho gets. Bunch of crap. Look, olives. Look at this. Look. There's all or nothing in there. Hey, look at this one. There's a little guy in there. Can't even get proper olives, can you? What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Huh? He is...
There you go. A little bit of the bubbly. Played a little bit for you guys. Yes, there's a post-match promo after All Out when he wins the AEW World title. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I thought this was a great promo from Chris Jericho. He takes the mic from the interviewer and just goes around backstage. He talks to the Young Bucks. He buries Brian Pillman Jr., who's just randomly backstage. He just kind of buries everybody. And I thought it was great. Great heel work. Fantastic stuff. I mean, we kind of want stuff like this, some unscripted post-match segments in WWE and in wrestling in general, because you kind of get the adrenaline and you get that post-fight feel. And I thought it was all around fantastic.
Yes, sir. Brandon, take us to our closed match pick of the week.
Well, our closed match pick of the week is another segment that happened on this magical weekend of pro wrestling. A lot of people talking about the Walter Tyler Bate UK Championship match. Definitely go out and check that out. Fantastic match. Possibly best match of the show, or best match of the weekend. But I think a very underrated match that people aren't talking enough about was also on the UK Takeover Cardiff show, and it is the NXT UK Tag Team Championship match with the champions, the Grizzled Young Vets. Shout out to Gallows and Anderson, with Zach Gibson and James Drake taking on Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, taking on the Welsh team of Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. Great match, great triple threat tag team match, high spots, flippity-doos and everything, great drama, and you have the Welsh tag team, get the hometown crowd behind them. Fantastic match, maybe lost in the shuffle a bit with all the wrestling that happened on this weekend, but definitely go and check that match out.
Yes. I saw bits and pieces of it. From what I saw, it was good. I haven't watched the entire thing. I was busy during that time, but I did catch the Joe Coffey and Dave Mastiff was the last man standing match. That was good. That was damn good. I like that.
Maybe the TakeOver show was the best show of the weekend.
Not even Royal... What the hell is that? Royal Quest? Royal Flush?
I am the New Japan guy, and I have not seen Royal Quest yet because I just assumed it was going to be on New Japan World, but it wasn't.
Wow.
I would have to pay $25 on Fight TV, and I ain't paying that type of money, so I got to wait weeks. I don't really know what happened. I know Kenta is the new champion, which I predicted, so probably I got everything right on Royal Quest.
He's the new champion of what?
The never open weight champion.
Oh,
he
okay.
beat my boy Tomohiro Ishii, so maybe we should have the title on the line for that show instead of All Out, because I probably did pretty good on those predictions, but it's whatever.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast, email us bulletcast2 sweetswet@gmail.com, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville, every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon. And we are on Pro Wrestling Tees, ProWrestlingTees/Bulletcast. Need to sell 24 more shirts so we can get some new designs up there. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 go buy a shirt. Go buy a shirt from us. It's a nice design. Shout out Brightest DX for making it happen. I got the boy Paul working on some other designs for us, and from the sketches that we worked on, they look pretty good. I haven't seen any digital stuff yet, but we're trying to make this happen, guys. We really, really are.
Help us, help you. You buy a shirt, we get some money, we make some investments, we get some better technology, we can do some other things, so it all comes back around.
We can take this on the road.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for myself and BT. We will talk to you next Wednesday. See you next time. As Jericho would say, aye!
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.